So, welcome to another story about our club. And today we have with us Father Lorenzo Avelino, who was the pastor at St. Mary's for many years. And right after that, he is the one who has this idea about creating something new that is now the Salesian Family Youth Center. So, Father Avelino, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, today, or this evening, depending what time you are watching the video. And tell us, why how this idea about the Salesian Family Youth Center came across.
Well, everything started with my youth group there in St. Mary's. A youth group I already found there when I arrived as a pastor. And with that group, we started working hard. The group increased in a huge way, so we tried to get in touch with the groups around in the other parishes until that group grew in such a way that we needed the space to host it, to receive, give us more facilities. So I spent some time in researching in the area for a place to meet. Once I came to the idea of a building belonging to the Archdiocese, very close to the, which is the name of the hospital there, the Santa Fe Hospital, very close to the park, Hollenbeck Park. And I understood that building used to belong to the Archdiocese, and at the moment it was empty. So I decided, well, maybe this is a good place to enlarge our youth group and to have our own building for the youth. So I inquired with the Bishop Arsubi, I think it was the auxiliary bishop at that moment, and he said, well, I don't know much about this, but most probably I will try to find out in the Archdiocese about the condition of the building. So 1 week later, he called me saying, Father, I'm sorry, that building used to belong to the Archdiocese, but it was sold last year. So no way, yes, no hours anymore. So I said, well, what can I do? I kept looking for some possibilities until I put attention in a special building was very close to our St. Mary's Church, across the street, in the other street. And, Breed, I think is the name, right?
Yes.
And that building was a closed building for years without some kind of secret environment inside, no movement, nothing. So I said, well, inquire, and we got information for the diocese, for the city, and we belong to some association from the east. I can remember, maybe Chinese or something like that. The building was called for years, it was on sale. When I heard that was on sale, I said, well, if it is on sale, it will be really expensive. And the parish is very poor, so no way, we have no expectation about this. So anyway, I shared this with Father Schaefer, with our provincial in that particular moment, and I mentioned Father Schaefer, this our niece in St. Mary's. We are in very great need of some place to coach and to receive and to attend our youth in the parish. Our hall and our facilities are very limited. And he said, well, it's okay, but you know what? And I mentioned the building, I said, this is on sale, and there are two people in, how do you call it, well, trying to buy some buildings. There was an escrow, and the first escrow has to pass at the end of this month. If they don't pass, another one is waiting for the escrow, and this will be the Jehovah's Witnesses. When I saw that, I mentioned also the Father Schaefer, well, maybe we need to do something to acquire this building. We need it very urgently. And he said, well, Father, try to see with the diocese what you can do, but we can do nothing for two reasons. We don't have money, and secondly, we don't have personnel. So no way we can do anything much. So I tried to mention things, and he's in heaven listening to this story. Probably he's laughing and enjoying the answer. 1 week later, he called me on the phone and said, Father, I kept thinking about what mentioned to me. And I remember you told me when you saw the situation of the youth, so in big numbers in the streets of that area. And I had mentioned him, Father, if you come around the 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon one day of the week, you will see thousands and thousands and thousands of kids on the streets leaving their schools. And if Don Bosco were here at this moment, probably he will be doing something to see what we can do for the youth. And he kept this idea in his mind. So after 1 week, he called me and said, Father, I decided to go for the building. And we bought the building. The Salesians bought the building, and we started doing something there. So we opened the building, we cleaned, we made it was a huge hall inside. The other was some kind of small rooms with attire from Oriental environment, something like that. So we cleaned and we opened the doors and we started meetings there with our young people. And I remember still have something on the stage. We made something on the stage in a big hall, all without windows. Everything was very strange building anyway. So we started working on this until we decided. Father said, "Well, maybe it's the moment to start moving and doing something with this building." And he found out two solutions: or to tear everything down and to make in that place the new building, or the second option will be start remodeling, and this will be cheaper than the tearing everything down. So we went for the cheapest way and decided to go for the remodeling, but in such a way that the building has to be taken down, all of it. But we saved inside the necessary to appear that it was only remodeling instead of tearing it down. Anyway, the building went up, was a lot of sacrifices. Father, the one who passed away, I can't remember the name, was also provincial, Father Bailo, Carmen Bailo. He was helping the other club in Wabash. He was the director and tried to see and be informed also the building of the new building here close to us. And he was part of it. So he came and even started sleeping in a poor house, who was also in sale. Not in sale. We asked for to buy it because we were very close to the club, the building we had already bought. And he started sleeping there different nights among cockroaches and all the other animals there. But he was very faithful to follow also the work. So we started working very hard, and was very expensive. But this between and before we started we started using the building also for our meetings with the youth group. So we are alternating until some of all the rooms were busy in building and tearing down. So try to use it, and at the same time keep working on the renewal of the building. We formed, I can remember suddenly how we started everything with one of our parishioners who used to work in the City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. And she was instrumental to have a nice board with members of people, all of them involved in City Hall. Among them were Victor, was Juan Carlos, you remember also the other name, Father Benti, Benti. And we formed a kind of board helping us and orientating us to follow the construction, and at the same time to keep the group alive, I mean. And we started working and at the same time trying to join with the other club on Wabash. And this is why Father Bailo came also in to help us. And we continued the work until the building was almost finished. And when we started, we started using the building for the new renovated youth center, and all our people started the activities there inside. At a particular moment, the Father Schaefer thought that it would be more important to have only one board for both clubs, ours in East LA and the other in Wabash. So we form with both uh,
Clubs?
boards, only one board for both clubs. And it started like this for until until we closed Wabash. So at this moment, this is the origin of the. So it started with need, desire, and need of a new center, more ample for the youth group activities in the parish. I don't know, maybe there are some questions JC likes to ask in order to clarify maybe some points I didn't mention.
No, it's actually pretty good and it's really explicit all the explanation. How do you feel now seeing that the Salesian Family Youth Center, the building that you were part of it, is now serving so many young people and now with the summer camp and everything that we go, how do you feel inside of yourself knowing that you were part of the beginning of this program?
Well, I feel that I was just an instrument, and it came to the situation without knowing it in the very beginning, following the need we really had in that particular moment, because that group had grown really fantastically, and we start to join even members of the other parishes, organizing them together, activities like sports and activities on social and trips and things like that. So the group in our small parking lot in the parish, or all Saturdays were a spectacular with bringing all the groups around in the area to play basketball or volleyball or even soccer in the close park. So all the youth were united in the activities, organized dances and all together. So it's really, and this what made us feel the need of having some place, bigger place for the activities.
And the last thing is, what would you like to tell the volunteers or new staff members in the club? Some type of what would you like to share with them?
Well, my idea when mentioning the name of the new center was thinking, will you new center? So I came with the idea, say, why don't we mention it or name it Salesian Family Youth Center? Thinking maybe in with the numbers of the youth here in the East LA, with such a number of schools all together, maybe this will be a way to unite all the Salesian members of the family, like the Salesians, brothers and fathers, the Salesian sisters, if they like to share, cooperators, alumni, to get them together in order to make something big in this area for the youth. The mention was in my mind, I don't know, after the idea came to the minds of the other people, but anyway. So now this didn't happen completely because each one is involved in their own places, in activities for youth. But now you are there, the volunteers, and you are members of the Salesian family in one way or the other. So you are now commissioned to be taking care of it, to keep it alive, and you are, or we can be doing a big apostle there with young people who needs us, especially being without much attention, because the youth group, the youth in this moment need help from wherever they can be. So you are the ones, instruments of the Lord's salvation for the youth.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you for actually making possible that we have today this beautiful club. where we serve a lot of young people. And thank you for everything that you have done for us.
Thank you, Juan Carlos, and my best wishes for the because I am an old man and I can do much, and sometimes I feel tired. So, but I keep praying that you and thanking God for the work you are doing there.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.